Good evening. Welcome. It is the Friday night takeaway with me, Mr. B. In the house, we've got TALKMU, my right-hand man. We have Matt, we have Zogs, and we have back in the house again to give us a belly full of laughs, Ivorian Spice. This is the Man United agenda. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, Zogs. How you doing, man? Long time no see.
I don't know if you can hear me, man. My camera's a bit iffy. My camera showing?
We can hear you, bro. Yeah, we can see. It's just frozen, but we can still hear you.
Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you, bro? Everything's all good? Oh, not all good at United, but yeah. I'm good, man. I'm doing well.
Good in life, not good in Man United heart, yeah?
That's it.
Ivorian, how you doing, man?
I'm doing okay. I'm still alive, guys. You know, it's been hard. You know, but we'll get there. We've got another game tomorrow. It is what it is. Yeah. But Ivorian Spice is good. How's everyone? The Man United agenda. Big up to everyone as well that's tuned in. Make sure you smash the like button. Also remember to share as well.
Yeah. Matt, how are you?
Greetings. How you doing, Mr. B and everybody? How you doing? Nice to be back on this terrific show, and I can't wait for these barrel of laughs that are going to happen today. Come on.
and Talk, my swear partner in crime. How are you doing, man?
Oh, mate, my mental health is being tested severely by Man United recently, mate. I swear. Honestly, I'm ready for, I'm going to section myself if we don't get that result tomorrow. Because I know, man, that I'm just going to lose my shit. Simple as that.
That's all right. So you're allowed. You're allowed for an hour. For an hour, you can lose all the hour and a half. You can lose all the shit you want, mate. Before we start, before we kick off, Valentine's Day is coming.
Oh crap!
Oh look, I'm looking. Oh, that's right. Oh crap! I see Ivorian Spice looking very smug. I'm thinking.
Oh, he's got an horrid nail look. You know what, Mr. B?
Yeah,
actually, let's just rewind a minute. Let me just rewind a second. Well, as you just say that, then, and then now I see Ivorian. He's already got it all planned.
Yeah, look how cool he is.
Look, he's like, no, I ain't breaking no sweat for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I ain't sweating for Valentine's Day. I've got everything planned.
I know, bro. Oh, mate. I need some
so
tips
smooth,
on that from,
Matt. I don't think you're giving a shit, are you, about Valentine's, are you?
Mate, I've got a date with a pot noodle. All right, that's my Valentine's.
Hey, listen, I'll have no slander against pot noodles, bro. Come on, they are like the king of.
It's the Bombay bad boy for me. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. They're nice.
Zogs. What are you doing for Valentine's, mate?
I can't say, bro. I can't.
Oh, that's what I like.
I can't put too much information out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
keeping it quiet, bro. Keeping it quiet.
You can tell you're of the younger generation, so yeah, I'm not going to get you in any trouble. I'm not going to get you in any trouble. So to kick off the show, Ted Lasso.
I've been waiting for that. Hey, Matt does a good impression of Ted Lasso. Let's have it, Matt.
Ted Lasso here, coach of the Tottenham Hotspurs.
That's the first time I've heard of what he even sounds like. I've never even seen this guy as Ted Lasso. When I seen it, I thought they were referring to like another coach, a proper coach. I didn't realize it was like a made up character thing. So yeah, carry on, Mr. B.
What the hell is going on now? Every week there's something coming out at our club. And then this morning I wake up. I'll be honest, when I saw the headline, I thought they were talking about Ranić. I'll be honest. I thought they were talking about Ranić. So I was pissed. When I read the article and I realized they were talking about, what's his name? Amaris. Lens. I just thought now somebody's really taking the piss. We have now become a joke, like a proper joke. It's not even banter FC. It's like proper TV jokes. and I'm just not sure where it's going to end. I just want to hear you guys' take on it. I think we'll talk with Ivorian.
Do you know what? When I read this in the morning, I kind of laughed. I was thinking to these players these days, like they know exactly what good quality coaching is nowadays. I laughed about the funny thing. I don't believe in most of the stuff that I'm reading in the media because it's always funny. Whenever Manchester United are not doing well, they like to throw things out to distract us about disharmony in the club. I don't believe that the players look at what's his name, Matt something Armas.
Chris Armas.
Chris Armas. They take him as Ted Lasso just because he's just came from Red Bull. I don't believe in it. I don't. I just feel like it's just bullshit news. The guys worked with Ragnick at RB. Leipzig. So he knows exactly what he's doing. I could rate Ragnick as a person and what he's done. No, I'm not going to say I rate him as a coach because, of course, he hasn't really done much as a coach. But the things he's done, I can understand. He's a professor of it. He knows exactly what he's doing. So the people that he's got in, he knows that they're on some bit of level of competencies that they can actually carry out the task that he wants to. So I kind of trust in them. But for the Man United players, they have to prove themselves. They still got to prove themselves with us and our fans because they clearly are not good enough. We can all see it now. We can't blame coaches. We can't blame staff. We can't blame Ted Lasso because they technically do need a bit of Ted Lasso for their mental health because they've been going through it. But that's my take on it. I just don't believe in things that I'm reading these days because it's a bit too much. It's like they're just trying to distract us. They're distracting us from the main problem.
The main problem is that we're playing dead football. Well, if that's the distraction that they're offering us, look, we're not talking about our crap football, so maybe it's working. You know what I mean? Zogs, what's your opinion?
I'm not gonna lie, I actually agree. I feel like a lot of it is made up. I feel like it's very convenient. Like, they just kind of put two and two together. Like, this guy's from America. He's trying to teach British players how to play. Let's just call him Ted Lasso in it. Like, that's just an easy one to link to. I don't think half of this stuff is actually happening. I dread to think it isn't, to be honest with you. But I don't believe half of the stuff that's coming out. It's very convenient. It's usually when we are losing or don't win, these stuff come out. But it doesn't come out when we are doing well, which obviously you can kind of see because you're not going to really complain if you're doing well. But I do feel like things get exaggerated a bit, especially with like those, before they were saying about 17 players were unhappy. 17 players are unhappy. And what the word unhappy is very, very subjective. Like, I can just be unhappy with something that happened that day, but that doesn't mean I was unhappy at the club or for whatever reason. I might be unhappy that I'm not playing the games I want to play. But if you just say 17 players are unhappy, you're going to think straight away 17 players are sulking, moaning, moping around, and they're the problem. So I do feel like I think a lot of it is exaggerated. However, I would stand with Ralph and stuff because he's the football expert here. And I think too long at Man United, we've given players too much leeway, too much power. And it's like bad parenting, isn't it? Like, if you're a parent and you let your kid get away with stuff, you spoil them and you don't discipline them, they're going to turn out spoiled and so on and so forth. So I feel like with United, we need to just stick to the leader, whoever is Ralph Rangnick or whoever's going to come in, and back them. And that might mean that we get rid of certain players that are the favourites. The Twitter's all like loves Martials and the Van der Beeks and the Pogbas, whoever, but for the greater good of the team, they may need to leave. They may need to leave and go and rebuild again. And I think the power needs to go back into the management as opposed to the players, because I think the players hold the power there and they know it as well.
Matt.
Look, I mean, the media are always going to pick out things like this. Of course they are, because it's clickbait, isn't it? That's what's going to make money. It's good for the Glazers as well. Even if it is bad news, it's good news for them. Understand? So they don't really mind all this stuff coming out, I don't think. I think Ralph doesn't really have the players on board. I really don't think he does. And I think that there is some truths in that. And I think there is, you know, you're hearing the players coming out like Lingard and Martial, and then he's saying one thing, they're saying something else. There's things to definitely be questioning about them. And sometimes you've got to give it up to the media because they do give us some truths, you know, about the European Super League, and that we needed the media there to be able to unveil what was going on, and the fact that our board do these sorts of things behind our back, you know, how the decisions that they make recently as well. It's incredible that they care more about signing shirt deals than actually what's going on the pitch. And I just don't think they're going to back Ralph, and I feel sorry for him because, like you say, he's got the credentials. Everyone looks up to him. I mean, even Ralph Hasenhüttl for Southampton this weekend, he looks up to him, doesn't he? He adopts his philosophy, so that'll be an interesting matchup. But I don't know. Having an interim manager at Man United, I always find that a bit of a dodgy situation. You shouldn't have that at a big club like ours.
Talk. Hello.
Sorry, I couldn't get my mic to unmute. Yeah, I mean, look, like I said before, you know, this can easily be blown out of context. Let's have it right. Listen, the camp at Man United in training, you know, the players, it's not all serious at all times. You've got to have a laugh. Now, is this name been given to this chap in an endearing way, and in a way that he actually sort of knows about, and he's like, oh, you're funny, you guys, you're funny, you know what I mean? Like, you get nicknames. You know, if you work in a workplace, you get a nickname or whatever, or your mates, you get a nickname. It's like, yeah, okay, that's cool. But if it's done in a more sinister way, you know, and they're really, really sort of just taking the mickey and they don't sort of buy into what he's trying to get them to do, then obviously, yeah, that's a huge problem, and that can't be allowed to happen. You can't just take it upon yourself as players to decide, oh, I don't like what this guy's doing, so I'm going to not give it 100%. No, that's not what you're here to do. You're here to listen to what you're being told to do by the people who are trying to get you to be the best you can be. If you don't want to take that attitude, then jog on. Simple, or let us know, and we won't put you in the squad. Simple as that. You know what I mean? Don't be coming in and spoiling it for everybody else. You know what I mean? Simple.
So I'm listening to you guys. I think we're all in agreement that our players seem to be spoiled.
Yeah, 100%.
Players are dead food, bruv. They ain't want shit, and they're just going on like they're the best thing since sliced bread. It pisses me off. Look, and the fans are in this as well. The fans love these players. Like, I don't understand. Like, okay, certain players are good, but what have they done for United? Nothing really. Nothing that we haven't seen. So it just annoys me. It's just like the standards have dropped from all aspects of the club. It's just like I'm disillusioned with these players, man. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really rate.
It's like you know, like if you're stand, you know, you stand. I've used this analogy before. Standing in front of a mountain and you're looking up at it, and you're like, shit. Nah, forget it, lads. Nah, we ain't getting over that mountain. So let's just, you know, sack it. Just, you know, yeah. Just not, you know. Go on, what are you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, like, do any of you lot rate these players? Like, honestly, like, do you guys actually rate most of these players? Like, there's only like a few players that I would actually rate, but I always compare it to our successful days, and maybe that's my problem. Maybe that's the problem that I have, where I've seen such riches. I've seen the top of the top, what we should be, what it takes to be at the top. So when I see all these players, like certain players that we have, I just think, and the way they get overhyped and overrated and loved and adored and protected, and I just think, oh, we're going nowhere fast, man. We're going nowhere fast.
That's exactly what I'm just talking about. Is when what you're describing there, our past, you know, history, our recent history under Ferguson and the teams that he built. They created those mountains that we knew were going to appear for other teams when Fergie left, and that's where we are right now. And it seems to be these players, they haven't got what it takes to stand up to it and go, you know what, we're going to scale that mountain and we're going to do this. We're going to do this. They haven't got the mental capacity or the mental attitude in order to take this challenge on. And the longer we go without success, real success, that divide is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and the challenge is getting much tougher. And you know, for managers coming in from this point now, at the end of the season, whoever does come in, for me, they have a very short window of opportunity to get this turned around before it goes to the point of absolute no return, and we are going to do a Liverpool. We are so close to being a Liverpool right now.
Okay,
so
again, we're happy with Ralph. Are we?
No. Thing is with Ralph, I'm not going to judge him on interim because at the end of the day, like that's not what his expertise is not for that. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like I think he's done decently from what he's had to deal with. I think he's not done that bad, to be fair. But his expertise come above the management level, the sporting directing, the vision, the stuff that we actually need him for. That's where he will be judged. And also, I'll always look at him with I don't know how to say it, but I will look at him with sympathy because I know who runs our club. And as much as people say Ralph's going to be this and Ralph's going to change this, like he's going to come in with the whole authority, I don't believe he's going to get the authority because I just don't see the Glazers and the people and the board giving him that. Like he's the keys to Man United. Do what you want. I can't see that. I honestly can't see it. So he's basically fighting with one arm behind his back. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's what I think is going to happen, and I feel sorry for him really because I know he's got it up here. He's proved it, but I think the people around him are clowns, to be honest with you.
It's an interesting thing to say because I want to see what it's going to be like under Matt Judge's stewardship because apparently from what we've heard from reports, he wants to delegate football to the right people where he can stick to his finance. He's not going to do what Ed Woodward done previously where Ed Woodward, he's power hungry. He's always on the power trip. He wants to be in control of everything. He doesn't want to give it up. So it'll be interesting to see how Manchester United will run under Matt Judge and whether they're going to whether he's going to stick to what he said or what we've read, that he wants to give football ownership to the right people. So we'll see whether he'll give Ralph Ragnick when he goes upstairs, because people need to understand that Ralph Ragnick has come here to be interim coach, interim manager, and then go upstairs and give consultancy role. So I know exactly what we sign up for. I didn't believe that he's going to come in here and just change things left, right, and center within 6 or 7 months of him being there. He's come here to be an interim and then go upstairs and do what he's really good at, seeing things from the top of the mountain, like Rice said earlier on. So yeah, we'll see what happens in the near future. But I hope Matt Judge stick to what he believes in and give the football people the right positions. Give all the footballing stuff to the people who know football, and he sticks to what he does. Getting sponsorship from Kellogg's, I don't give a shit. Just do your thing.
You know what? Also, the value in that from United's point of view when they appointed him was a bit of a kind of, a bit of a gamble, wasn't it? It's like, okay, listen, yeah, you're going to bring a lot to us when you do go upstairs. Like, I know what you're both saying there in terms of, well, how much power is he actually going to have? We will see that in the future. But going alongside that, it was a case of, you know what, this guy could actually come in and turn this around. And it looked in the first game, Crystal Palace, boom. It was like, oh, yeah, hold on a minute. Now then, that's what we're talking about. But then that window of opportunity that I was talking about earlier disappeared very quickly. The light got blown out by the players. You know what I mean?
After 45 minutes, they realized they can't do this against Crystal Palace. They can't lose for 90 minutes. There's no way.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's like they almost
that's crazy.
It's like they kind of like realized that. Wait a minute, shit, are we supposed to be this good? No, this can't happen. No, we're going to get asked to do too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got things. You know what I mean?
What I don't get is they can do it for 40 minutes. You can't do it for another 40 minutes after half time. Like, what happened? Your legs don't just all of a sudden just become jelly. Like, yeah, and these players are not just all of a sudden pulled out from the stadium and just said, yeah, 11 of you go run around for 90 minutes. These are professional athletes that train. This is their full-time job. And that's all they do, or that's all they should be doing is being professional, But I don't know. I feel like I think a lot of these players, I don't think they have the intelligence to play this type of football. They have quality in certain areas, but I think they don't have like the decision-making intelligence, the intelligence to press someone at the right time when they make a wrong touch. Do you know what I mean? It all kind of looks like they all kind of make up as they go along, which is kind of like a symbol of the club. I think, obviously, like I said, we're hoping with Ralph to be the guy, right? But I feel like they stumbled across this plan because they sacked Ollie. but Oli was the original plan. They gave him a bloody contract 3 months before, so they backed him, and then all of a sudden it kind of went pear shaped, and they thought, fuck this, and let's go here. Now Ralph is the plan. They stumbled on that. So how do I know that? Give it 6 to 10, 14 months, and it doesn't go right, because progress. Sometimes you gotta take a punch on the nose. It might need to get worse before it gets better. And then they decide, oh crap, maybe we need to change. This ain't the direction, and now we're just in a loop.
Can I throw a grenade into the trench here, people? I think Ralph won't stay after the season. I think he'll want to leave.
Do you think it's because of the bullshit that he's seen around him?
He's not going to get ownership. They don't listen to the coaches, like the international coaches that scout players. Like, they don't listen to them at all. Look at Diaz that's gone to Man City now. Brilliant buy. Where were we with these sorts of buys? This guy's going to be a talent, and we don't have that scouting like other clubs do. These big clubs. Look at Liverpool as well and what they do in their business. Sensible transfers. We don't make sensible transfers, like you were saying about this team just doesn't fit, and like they can only play for 40 minutes and can't play the rest. But you look at Man City, they are pretty much like huffing and puffing at the end of the game, you know, like they're out of breath when they're doing their interviews. Man United players are just all cool and chill, like, you know, coats on, like, you know, like snugged up warm already. And you just kind of feel, as a mentality, do you really care? Do you really want to play for the club? Is that badge important to you?
Let me say something.
I don't feel that as a Man United fan. I don't feel it.
Well, but I've heard this said before about, oh, you know, Manchester City getting all this player, blah 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 player. It's not just like by magic that Manchester City and Liverpool and maybe even Chelsea in the mix always go out and seem to land the best players that are available. No, that's not how it is. It's not how it works. It's about assault. No. There's nothing. No. It's not. That's what I'm saying, Matt. It's not. The coaching and the management and the way what they're doing and the attitude and the mentality of the club is what is enabling these players to become the players they are. Look at Robertson, for example. Look at Trent Alexander-Arnold, for example.
Is that not a sensible transfer, though? Like, he was going to be going down, and then he gets picked up by Liverpool and becomes the Champions League winner.
But what I'm saying is they aren't just identifying and going and getting all the best players. They're turning some of these players who, if they came to Man United, would not be the same player they are that they are now at the other club, like at Manchester City or at Liverpool. If they were at Man United, they come to us instead, they wouldn't be as good as they are now at their current club. That's what I'm getting at. So it's down to the actual coaching, the management, the idea, the plan, you know, the whole mentality of what's going on at the club. It's not just a simple case of, oh, they've gone out and somehow magically identified all the top targets and just got them. That's not for me.
But maybe they have, and maybe they've said,
no,
we're not listening to you, which I heard is true, that they do try and tell them, the scouts, like, this player's looking good, we should maybe look into him, and they go, nah, not interested.
No, that doesn't make us money. Doesn't make us money. Let's go buy the sexy new toy that will bring us shirt sales, and that's the problem with the club, man. The club does not care whether they are the top of football, and that is very important in any setup, in any business. If you have objective of just finishing in the top 4 as opposed to your competitors who want to dominate, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to finish where you're going to finish, and they're going to finish on the top because that's what they want. Man United, I'm telling you, they can print it on everything they want. Oh, we want to win league titles. We want to do this. We want to do that. They do not. They do not, because they can spew all that rubbish, but when it comes to crunch time, when it comes to that, they don't move like Man City. They don't put in plans. We haven't even got a director of football, really. Like, we've got someone within the club, and then Darren Fletcher, who's a technical director, but only now. People had football directors fucking a decade ago. So we're like, don't get it. And this is what I mean. It's all just bullshit. Like, it's just, to me, the club is just a proper propaganda machine of basically suckering us in every season. And we're idiots because we're fans. We're going to support them anyway. I tweeted it the other day. Like, as much as I say I'm done with United, I'm there tomorrow. Like, I'm watching that shit tomorrow. Like, do you know what I mean? They got us hooked, but they don't actually hurt them. It doesn't. The ambition doesn't come from the Glazers. The Glazers don't care about United. They never did. They just use it as a cash cow, as an asset to make money off. Simple.
Yeah, can I just say as well, just to throw in on that, it was funny how everybody was erupting over this, ESL, weren't they? The pitch invasion, and then suddenly Sancho and Ronaldo come in, and it all changes.
Because that's all it takes. That's how cheap it is. That's cheap.
In one day.
100 million there just to shut everyone up for the next 3-4 years. That's cheap.
Some revolution that is, one day.
Yeah. I don't trust them, bro. I never will. As soon as they are out of this club, the virus will fuck off with them. Simple. They're like the worst.
Zogs,
I'm telling you.
Zogs. Let me. I'm okay. This is.
Don't say your Glazers in. Don't say your Glazers in.
I wouldn't do that, bruv. Why would I do that? Why would I do that?
That's right.
Okay, but my everybody's talking about the Glazers selling up the club. At the moment, there's not much people who can afford to buy Manchester United.
Thank you very much. No one's willing to
price
spend
the price that they cost, plus the debt that they're racking up that they're not paying off. There's not many people, and then the price that they talk. I mean, it as attractive as it would be, we are a money making machine. Let's be honest. They've just got their sponsorship for their training thing. Everybody said, "Oh, we're bums and we're falling off a cliff with this and falling." Look at the sponsorship deal we've just signed with who? Tezos? Who the fuck are they?
Blockchain.
But they come with money. They've come with money. And
yeah, United does.
Right. And well, United, of course they know who they are now. I know who they are. I don't know what they do, but I know what their sign is. That's, you know what I mean? So, and that's what they do. You get your name linked to Manchester United and it's global, regardless of how successful we are. Because if we're playing shit, we're in the press. If we're talking about Ted Lasso, we're in the press. If players are leaking information at 10:30 at night, all of them, there's an issue. So somebody put in here, it's bigger than Ralph. It's beyond Ralph. It's beyond Ralph.
Fault.
It's not his fault. He's coming here to do a job. I said I like him. I like the fact
He's
that
honest.
I've got and he ain't covering for none of them sulky little fuckers, the Martials, who moaned about you didn't want to play, and Ralph said that you did, and you got pissed off. The same with fucking Jesse. Jesse didn't want to play. You have 2 weeks in the buy, you come back, you don't get sold, and your head's not in the right place, so you need another couple of days off, and then you tweet that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I understand he's pissed off. But your employer, your employee is paying you 75 to 100 grand a week. Shut your mouth. You know what I mean? Just shut your mouth. At the end of the day, they say they've got this love for the club. They don't. They've got a love for their checkbook. That's what that's my opinion. A question I do want to ask you guys. We were talking about we'll drift off this Ted Lasso business and try and get a little bit more happy, should I say. I've seen some of the comments and everybody's in the same mood. Our players, Zogs, you said earlier on we've got no good players, or we've got a few good players. Could you name the few players for me? And we could just have a little discussion on that.
In my opinion, I would say De Gea. Ronaldo.
I would still add Jadon Sancho to the mix.
Oh yeah, I like him. I actually think he's one of our better players, but I'm not gonna throw him in there yet.
No, I'll still throw him.
I'm not sold on him yet. Like I'm not gonna. His jury's still out on him. The others, I've made up my mind. Like I know they ain't gonna win nothing at Man United, or anything in their careers. As far as I'm concerned, but yeah, man, like some players are good enough to win, and some players ain't, and some players are just tagging along. There's a lot of players that tag along and win stuff, but were they really contributing? But yeah, that's my opinion. Is that controversial? I don't think it is.
Talk. Let's see if there's any matches. If you're gonna add anybody to Zog's list there.
Oh, well, but you talk about good players that we've got.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, we know there's improvements need to be made by specific players in the squad, namely Scott McTominay, Fred. They're the names that we always seem to be like calling out when we're watching.
Don't have them in the conversation if they're not good enough.
Yeah, but that's what I'm going to say. For them two, for me, they're the two that really stand out. That if you know, for me, I would be saying, you know what, I'm gonna have to drop you and give somebody else a chance. Simple as that. But everybody else, I think the quality's there. It's just a case of, again, we were talking earlier in the show about in the other show, and I was mentioning about instructions being given, and then the desire to go out and put those instructions into effect, and having the desire to go out and do that. A lot of the players at the moment haven't got that, and the reason why they haven't is because of the like we talked about before. You put all this together, the mountain that they've put in front of them that they want to got to try and climb, and the lack of confidence. Put it all together, and it equals poor performances. Simple as that. It's a lot of these players. If these players that we're mentioning here in our squad were to go to under different managers, i.e. your Pep Guardiolas and your Jurgen Klopps and your Thomas Tuchel's, we're seeing different players with different attitudes. There's no two ways about that. And I would guarantee you'd see it within a couple of games. Totally different players. Because that mindset will shift. Because nobody can distance themselves away from the fact that we are facing this huge mountain. Do you know what I mean? So, and it's not something that we can kind of hide. We can't hide it. It's there. It's permanently there. This huge task right in front of the players. It's there, and it's always going to be there until we actually get to the top of that mountain again, and actually be successful by winning a major trophy. That's the start. We got to get a major trophy, preferably the league for me. I would take the league over anything, all day, every day. Simple as that.
Ivorian. Yeah, go on.
No, I was just going to say one thing, and you can let him speak. The players that are named are first team players. I'm not saying that every player needs to be world class in the whole squad. So, like even McTominay and Fred, they're good squad players, week in, week out players. I just want to add that as well. The players that I named is the players I want to see every week, week in, week out, whatever. Them other players, yeah. They do have a space in the team. 38 games in the Premier League season. 15, 20. Because, we had Fletchers and John O'Shea's and Wes Browns in our time. So I'm saying they weren't the first team players, but they were coming in and doing a job. And it was important. So I just want to add
that. Ivorian.
Mr. B, to answer your question of who do I think are good players, and obviously what I want to answer is basically who I think are good players that should stay, that will take the players, take the team into the next level with additional top quality signings. I don't care whether you like them or not. I'm going based on their talent and also their mental aspect of being winners. David De Gea, for sure, will always be a top player. He still is. And next will be Varane. One of our best players. Pogba's still one of our best players, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not, because he still has that mentality to take us to the next level. I know his performance sometimes was dodgy, but if you add someone else to it, you get the best version of Paul Pogba. That's the type of players. Ronaldo, I don't even need to say. Jadon Sancho, like I said before, no, I'm not going to base it on what I've seen at Manchester United, because Manchester United don't have a style of play that suits everyone's way of. We have a bunch of mishmash players that play different styles. Some of them are good with pressing, some of them are good with possession, and etc. Not all of them of the same mold that you'll see at top teams like Man City. Jadon Sancho will always be there. And of course, I would like to say Marcus Rashford. Regardless of how I feel about Marcus Rashford, he has the talent to go places. He just needs the right education, footballing education, to make the right decision. I don't care if he has to take tests. Go and do your GCSEs. I don't care if you need to do maths, art to get creative. Just, he needs it. And then who else have I missed out? Bruno Fernandes. That's about it. The rest are all squad players that you can just get rid and move on.
Matt.
There's not many really that I'd want to keep, to be fair. I think Sancho, you should keep Sancho. He's definitely got something within him, and I feel it's been horrible for him to come into this. Do you know what I mean? This turmoil at the club. Do you know what I mean? It's not very good for your development as a young player, and he is still young. So yeah, I'd want to keep Sancho, Ronaldo, De Gea, Varane. I really would like to keep Pogba, but I just don't think he wants to be here. So I'm not sure whether, for his sake, I'd say just leave and let's get somebody else in. But Pogba, I think Shaw's got to go. I think he's finished. He's only had like 1 or 2.
You think Shaw's got to go? Yeah.
I think so. I he's been a great servant. He's had a horrific injury during his time here as well. But I don't know. I think we need wing backs that can do both. And I don't know. I'm a bit weary about him now. And I think he's had that sort of Euro syndrome, isn't he? Like some of the other players this season. I think only Rice has come out of that okay. But yeah, who else would I say? I think that'd be about it. I think everybody else has either got to be on the bench or got to go, or prove themselves.
Talk.
I've already said, bro.
Talk already said. He never really mentioned anyone. He just said apart from McFred.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he gave an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer answer.
I think. Listen, it's not. Look, you can't do what we did over the past few seasons. The places that we finished in. When you look at the teams around us, we're already like now we're talking about teams below us having better midfields than us. A lot of the teams, if not most of the teams, have got better midfields than us. You know, and that's my point. And that's where the game is won and lost, is in midfield. We're shit in midfield. That's the problem. We couldn't control a fucking balloon. Do you know what I mean? Never mind a game of football with that midfield that we've got. It's the biggest problem in our game. And so therefore, you know, you can't dissect it and start going, well, okay, well, let's push it. Let's now look at this. Your job there as the wing back or left back, right back, what are you going to call them? Wide midfield players and the forwards. No. If you start doing that, then where are you going to stop? You know, that's not good business sense. That's not good sense of a management either, to look at it from that angle. You look at and identify, where is this weakness happening? Why are we losing games, or why are we dropping points in games? It's the midfield. It's not good. If we've been calling out for a defensive midfielder for what, 2 seasons, maybe more, right? And then look at the games that we've just been played in. That's the last 2 games. Me and Mr. B on the watch along has said, what the fuck is Paul Pogba doing in the same space as Scott McTominay, and why are they on the same fucking line? Every time you're going, why are you there? Don't do that. One of you fucking drop back and one gets forward. That's how it works. Now, if that would have been the case in the last game, Scott McTominay, if he had been dropped back, Harry Maguire wouldn't have felt the need to go rush it over because he panicked, and then we wouldn't have got done like we did. So
Harry Maguire didn't panic. Harry Maguire did what Harry Maguire does best.
Well,
fuck up.
I know you're saying, but again, for me, that midfield is the major issue. If you look at the talent that we've got in all the other areas of the pitch, it is all there. It's just that when you don't get the cohesion in the midfield right in order to control the game, to be able to maintain, for example, your attacking shape without it letting it all collapse and having to go rebuilding right from the back again. You see us do that time and time again. You know, one bad pass and then everything just collapses like a house of cards. And you go, wait a minute, why is that? You know, now we've got to try and do it all again, and it's a pain in the ass.
It's like having 2 goalkeepers. Are you actually allowed to have 2 goalkeepers on the field at once? Have you ever thought about that? No?
What do you mean?
Well, David James came on and played.
Having 2 goalkeepers in the goal. I don't know why wouldn't you?
Oh no! You could have 2 goalies played. You can't have 2 goalies.
What we need, Henderson and De Gea. No, they're both.
I don't think the goalkeepers are a problem.
Exactly.
It's the best position we've got.
Yeah, I think he's made a lot of results more respectable than what it is. I think.
I'll let you ask you this question: if we'd have brought in Declan Rice and maybe, I don't know, another name. Let me think of a name quick. Declan Rice and Kamara, for example, from Marseille. Would we now be playing much better football in the middle of that, in the middle of the park? Would we get having more control?
I think so, because they understand the system, but we didn't buy any players, and January's gone.
And also, What the Mr. B, you know, we all know what intelligent midfielders enable other players to do. What is that?
But talk. I'll be honest with you. Until the system is actually put in place where everything is very fluid, none of these players that you bring in will thrive. Will forever have this problem. Until a philosophy is established and they play the football and buy the right personnel players to fit the personnel of the system, then we will never get anything right. So we can name those two midfielders. What about the rest? You know, because to play to play a philosophy, you need to have the players to play that way. Players who are good on the ball, who can turn, who can press, etc. Whatever our philosophy is, whatever the characteristics, and also the mental aspect. I keep saying mental aspect is very important if you want a bunch of winners. You need to have winners who are leaders as well. And to win trophies, you need at least to have at least 6 or 7 captain material like players who are in that mold, that want to win. Doesn't matter if they're losing, they grab you by the scruff of the neck and say, we can do this. Come on, let's do it. Let's have it. That's it. When we concede a goal, everyone's heads turned down. Back 10 years ago, you have Gary Neville, Roy Keane, David Beckham, everyone pulling each other around because why? They're all leaders. And that's why you saw when we saw players like Everett, John O'Shea, West Brom, they all became captains of the team that they went to. It's very important.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
We don't have the personality. We don't have the personality, man. That's the biggest thing. Like, it's so obvious. Like, I've said it. I was saying this when we had Ollie, and I was saying it with my boys. Like, we've got quality in this team. Hence why we get into Europa League finals and second. No doubt about that. You don't beat someone 9-0, and we'll get into Southampton in a minute. But you don't beat someone 9-0 without not a bit of quality. But when push comes to shove, when you need to take that step, win trophies, to get to the final and get over the line, I've seen this United team just bottle it every chance. Every chance they've had. That's a mental issue. That is all in here. They've got the ability, but for some reason, whatever they do, they can't prepare themselves, they can't get over the line, they get nervous on the day. I don't know what it is, but
see, and you mentioned a team there, Southampton. Let's just drift on to that before we depart this takeaway route. Couple minutes each, starting with you, Talk. What you expect tomorrow, what you want tomorrow, and your score prediction.
Well, I've said 0-0. I want to see us. Sorry, yeah, I know it's negative, but every time I've said 1-0, it's been 1-1. So I'm thinking if I say 0-0, I get a 1-0. That's the hope. Is we get a 1-0. You know what I mean? We get a 1-0. But yeah, I want to see us move the ball quickly as always, because I think Southampton are gonna, they're gonna be so rigid in their shape. They're not gonna sort of start chasing things down and leaving huge gaps for us to exploit. They're gonna be very, very organized. And we know what to do, the 4-2-2 into the 4-4-2 mid block, blah, blah, blah. So he's a good manager, Hasenhüttl. We know all about him. We know what he's like. So I think, yeah, we ourselves have to be organized in our attempts to get the ball forward quickly. But we also have to protect the ball. This is what I'm getting at before about the midfield. If you don't protect the ball, you're in trouble, aren't you? Because they then get control of the ball. And we know they've got some dangerous players, Ward-Prowse, Brozier. There's others as well you can mention. They will be a danger to us because in one of the goals they scored against Tottenham when they came back, there was 6 players, I think 5 or 6 players, Southampton players in Tottenham's box. So you're like, what? Whoa, you know what I mean? They're not scared of putting the numbers forward when they want to do, because we know he does high press, blah blah. So yeah, it's going to be difficult, but like I say, I want to see us concentrated, moving the ball quickly, and not giving it away too cheaply.
Matt?
There isn't a fortress anymore at Old Trafford, so I'm saying 2-2. If we can't beat Burnley away, who are rock bottom, then what the hell are we going to do when Southampton rock up? And I'll tell you what, I wish we would be winning 9-0, even with our team. I think we could do it if we had that mentality, but we don't have that mentality. And I just think it's going to be a tough game. And like Talk said about the game they had against Spurs, the 3-2 win, and they were looking pretty fantastic and they look raring to go. I just think Old Trafford doesn't have that feel anymore for teams coming there. And I think they'll look at this and go, this is an easy draw or win for us. And we'll be going, hoping that we get something out of it, which really looks strange, doesn't that? You know, you'd expect Southampton to have that mentality, but there you go. That's what it is. 2-2 from me.
Zogs.
9-0, Zog. 9-0.
Zogs is like, man, what the fuck do I say now, man?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you know what it is, man? I'm kind of optimistic. Like, I always feel like we can beat anyone, and I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. I feel like I was pissed off against Burnley, but I feel like we played well. Should have been like 2-3-0 up anyway. Like, if you looked at the game and the decisions went our way, we win that game 3-0, then like, it could be a crazy score. And then the Middlesbrough game, we had so many chances, it was a case of not taking it. So I actually don't feel we're playing bad. I feel like we won games and we were playing shit before, and I was more frustrated with that. So I don't feel we're playing bad, but I feel like if we don't take our chances, we might just see the same old. But I don't want to waffle too much. I'll probably say we're 100% conceding. We love to concede a goal. I'm going to say 2-1.
2-1. Okay, Ivorian.
Yeah, you know what? Let me just echo what Zog said there, because of course I've been watching the game. I've been keeping a close eye, because all I've been seeing from game to game is Manchester United improving in terms of their performance slightly, in terms of being more compact, in terms of being able to press for longer. As you can see as well, they are creating chances, but we're not converting those chances. That's our problems right now. And as well, just being able to recover. We are recovering the ball quicker, winning the first balls and starting to win the second balls. It's just that it's not happening for a sustainable amount. And there's a slight improvement, but it's not the best improvement. It's slow improvement. We'll get there. On the rough, I see it, but he won't be the permanent manager. Someone else take over. But yeah, back to the game. Southampton, it's going to be a tough one. It's not going to be easy in the eye, as always, as I say. It looks like Manchester United will win. They'll get the 3 points. 2-1 Man United, but a hard game.
See, and I'm going 1-1. I'm just convinced. I'm convinced that
it's crazy, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, they're gonna break my heart, man. I'm sick and tired. Look, I'm happy. I'm gonna go in there. The game's gonna be on tomorrow, and I'm gonna expect the win. And this is what kills me about Man United.
That's it.
I'm mad when we play. I'm mad now, but you see, come tomorrow, 2:30, 2:00, when I see the team, I've got nothing but love for them. And then 2 hours later, I want to smack them in their face because they've done it to me again.
Mr. B,
don't want to have that feeling.
Mr. B, don't go looking for the team at 2:00 tomorrow, bro. You ain't going to see it. It was kicking off at 12:30.
Hey, he's watching the reserves.
Thanks a lot, Talk. I don't even think anybody noticed. So look, we've got three draws and 2 wins. Listen, man, let's hope that we get it right tomorrow. You know, but yeah, it's been a pleasure as always. Zogs, where can we find you, man?
Yeah, man. You can find me on Zogs _Zogs on Instagram, Zogs on YouTube, and Twitter as well. It's with Zogs.
Ivorian.
Yes, you guys can subscribe to the channel Red United TV, and of course follow the official Instagram account, which is Red United TV1 on Instagram. And also, if you want to follow me personally, it's Ivorian _Spice for Twitter and also Instagram.
Matt.
Thanks for having us on again. You can find me at Football United TV, probably live now, actually. Should probably go and check that out, shouldn't I? Instagram and Twitter. Thanks for the support, everybody. Go press subscribe, share, and like for this great channel as well. Thank you so much, Mr. B, for having us on again, mate. Happy Friday, everybody. Come on, we are coming. Come on.
Come on.
Talk MU. Where can we find you, YouTube whore?
Yes. No, you're only going to find me here, bro. I'm on Matt's channel. And on Twitter, I talk MU. And then if you anywhere there's a fridge, you'll find me sniffing around it. I got to think the fridge is bro my food, you know what I'm saying?
We need to see your face, man. We need to see your face reveal.
It's always full of food. That's why he's on the road. It's always full of food.
It's that I've got a special like device that just sits on top of my napper, and it's just like I've got a little mini conveyor belt that goes around my head, like a sushi bar. It's just like a continuous line of food. I can take my pick. It's honestly top of the range. Let me tell you.
Come on, United, man! Hopefully we get the win tomorrow, man.
Exactly.
I want a good weekend.
And this is what I'm saying. We cuss.
I'm
Zogs,
there
you
tomorrow.
came on through. Look, I can see the smile on your face, Zogs. I can see you want the win, and that's what I'm saying. That is our love for Manchester United, and let's not forget it. Yeah, you guys, thank you